This is our demo account. And once you log in, you'll see a brief overview of your organization. This will take you to your main dashboard where you're able to see the total number of active residents you have, and you can click more info to go to your residents page. All of your staff members, as well as the total rent due month to date so far, as well as the total rent paid this month. And then you have your organization's calendar with all of your events for the month, and you can go down to a weekly or daily level and go into your calendars page, as well as you can see there's no events today. On the left side navigation, we have nice little things to help remind you about your residents and your staff members as well. So you can see upcoming sobriety milestones for your residents. We see John Doe is coming up on a 1 month milestone, as well as Samwise Gamgee has a birthday coming up this month in a couple days. So, we can plan ahead and celebrate their birthdays as well. You have a personal to-do list. So this is just a personal to-do list for you. Only your specific login has access to this. And you'll get reminded about these events that you add in on your mobile app as well. You have a recent incident. So if any incidents have occurred recently within your organization, which residents were involved, and you can just quickly click that to go to their chart. You can see what the date it occurred, the number of strikes that are attached to the incident, the category, if it's first warning, second warning, last warning, that sort of thing. You can fully customize that. A link to the house that it occurred in, details, okay, so it looks like John Doe got into a fight with Jimmy, and there's some consequences attached with that incident. And then you have the notifications, so these are all of your residents who are either past due on their bills or if they failed a recent drug test. And then on your bottom right, very transparent, we show you your account status, your membership fees. You can switch plans, you can upgrade or downgrade at any time, view your past invoices, update your payment method, as well as if you want, you can go ahead and pause or cancel your subscription with just one click. So we're very upfront and transparent with pricing and costs, as well as charges. So if you ever feel like you need to cancel or pause your subscription, you can do so anytime. We're also human. We like to keep things as simple and transparent as possible. So it's not like a gym membership where you have to, send a dozen documents via mail or anything like that. So yeah, that's just a brief overview of your main dashboard to give you a nice view of your organization. And then from the left side navigation, you have your enterprises as well as houses. So I can go into my Lakewood house and see my house dashboard, my list of house residents or my house staff, as well as the Shire house. And then below that, you'll see we have secure file storage. So any documents and files I want to upload for my organization, I can go upload them here. Notes, real-time collaboration. So if I want to collaborate with my staff members on documents and spreadsheets, anything like that, I can go ahead and work on my organization's notes there. Calendar, as I mentioned, it's a similar view to the calendar on your homepage, and you'll be able to see all of your organizations, and you can even narrow it down to specific houses. So I can see Lakewood has these events on those days, and if I want to see other organizations, other houses, I can do so there. But if I want to get an overview of my entire organization, I can just click all. And if I want to add a house meeting, I can go ahead and just drag and drop, create new events, schedule it on a recurring basis. And then a recent feature that we've added that's been quite popular is Application Manager. So this was added beginning of last year, where you're able to create your own custom application forms and add this link to your website, Facebook page, what have you, under an Apply Now label. And any submissions are going to be submitted and viewed within your application manager here. So to start off, we already pre-populate the form, which is 100% customizable. And we've gone through several dozen different application forms and different types of organizations. And we've compiled a generic list of most frequently asked questions on application forms. So if you review this, you can remove questions you don't like, just clicking the X, or you can edit it, click the pencil icon to edit, and you can edit the question. So date of requested entry, and I'll go ahead and click that, and now that label has changed. Or if I want to completely start over, I can go ahead, clear all fields, and just drag and drop and create my own questionnaire.
Okay.
So it's a very user-friendly application.
Yeah, seems like.
And yeah, so you can go ahead and save that. And then once you save that, you'll be able to click preview to preview how that application form looks, as well as you can edit it. You can enable access to it by just making it active or inactive. You can view the total number of applicants. We have one new one, 0 have been approved, 0 denied. I can see that Jay Gatsby has submitted one back in November. Action is required. So I'll go ahead and take a look at this. I can see their questions and answers here. Great, looks like you filled everything out. I can go through, click download as PDF, or I can mark this as archived. But I want to say he was approved, so I can go ahead and mark him as approved. And it's just a one click to convert this applicant into a resident chart. So it's a very simple, very quick way of creating an application form that you can share on your website, your Facebook page, what have you. And anytime someone goes to that, they're going to go to your custom application form, fill in their information, and click submit. You'll get email notifications about any recent submissions, and you can go through and approve them or deny them as well. And then similar view, we have client surveys, which is another popular feature that we added at the end of last year that I briefly mentioned. So from here, you're able to create custom surveys that will go out to any email address you enter, as well as you can automatically set it to get sent on a frequency basis to your residences post-residency, so after they've left your organization. So for example, a popular one is the BARC 10, which if you select one of the templates, you'll be able to see a brief description. And the BARC 10 is a self-administered questionnaire to evaluate the tools and resources a patient has available to support their substance use disorder recovery. So this questionnaire includes 10 statements related to different types of their recovery resources available to them. So if I want to go ahead, click select survey, it's going to pre-populate it with the questions that are going to be asked. And I can have it sent to just the Shire House residents. And I want it to be auto sent to them after they're dismissed. So send it 1 week after they left the organization. And I'm going to have them sent every 1 week for an additional 3 times, just to keep track of them, let's say months. So I want to have it sent monthly for the next 3 months after they've left the organization. That way I can keep track of them, see how they're doing post-residency. And likewise, you can also create your own custom survey. So if you want to create your own custom survey, it's a similar view of the form builder from the application manager, where you're able to put in a questionnaire. You can put in a text field, text area. So let's say, do you have any feedback for us? And then I'll have this sent to my residents 1 week after they've been dismissed. And then they'll get an email after they've been dismissed from the program, and they'll be asked to complete the survey, and I'll be able to view all of their submissions and answers. So that's a way to keep track of your residents all the way from application before they're in your house, as well as post-residency, keeping track of them and their recovery capital after they've left your organization. And then next, bill management. So bill management is a way to track all of your house expenditures, such as, electric bills and cable bills and payroll, things like that. So recurring expenses, as well as one-off expenses, you can record them here, and you export this data to Excel spreadsheets, as well as get reminded about if bills are coming up soon, as well as you can configure them to be auto pay or not, so that you'll get reminded if there's any manual payments that you need to make sure you take care of before they become overdue. So just a quick bill management feature to track your expenses versus the income generated from resident payments, so you'll be able to see a more holistic overview of your organization's finances. And then the next we have analytics. And this is a demo account, so there's not too much data here. However, the more data you put into your account, the more reports and charts and analytics you'll be able to see. So here I'll be able to see all the admissions. I can view the dismissals. There was one dismissal here with Jane Doe, as well as all. So +1, -1, dismissal occurred here. And then I can view the average resident stay duration, the resident to staff ratio, the common resident dismissal reasons. If I click on it, I can see more information. So I can see Jane Doe was part of this one occurrence. So it was successful completion. So that's great. Drug addictions, I can see the makeup of all the residents and what they're coming into the residence for, as well as occupancy rates, but by percentages as well as numbers total. And I can print this, export it PDF, Excel, or print it out.
Gotcha.
And then we have financial. So this is all of your financial data, all of your resident rent payments, charges, and all the your account total. So for each individual house, as well as for the enterprise and your overall account. So I can see a month by month payments over charges for your entire organization. And you can export this to an Excel spreadsheet as well. And then the next tab is just an audit log. So you have an activity log of your entire organization. So say I want to see all of the resident activity by all staff, and going to say, let's see everything that happened the past week or so. So I can see, okay, the past week we've had payments added and deleted for John Doe by Frodo Baggins. And so I can go ahead and click this folder icon, this button, to go into John Doe's chart. But yeah, this will show you all of the activity within your organization. If I go back further, it'll go back further and show me all the different details, diagnoses. I can see some documents were added for their document eSign. I can see some more payments and charges, medication logs. So just an audit log of everything that's occurred within your organization. And the last tab here is the data export. So within Oathtrack, we allow you to export all of your raw data as Excel spreadsheets. So you're able to download all of the reports and data that you need, and you can upload those items into things like QuickBooks or other reporting and analytics tools if desired. So in this case, I'm just going to select all of my residents and all of the data points, and I can see now that I viewed the data, a download data button appeared. I can go ahead and click this, and it'll download it to an Excel spreadsheet. So I have all the charge data, all of their contacts, the custom fields, demographics data, documents data, diagnoses, and so on. So I'm able to export all the data into Excel for record keeping as well, if you need. And then underneath this, we have the master list. So this will show you all of your residents within your organization, as well as all of dismissed, and you can filter it to show all as well. And if you want, you can also print this as PDF in Excel. And you can select which columns to print it out. And similar view, all of your staff. So if you need a quick overview of all of your staff members within your organization, you can go here and view. I see Samwise Gamgee's phone number, email. I can view and edit their permissions. So currently Sam is only has access to a billing role within Lakewood. But if I want to go ahead, I'm going to add him to the Shire House as billing as well. So I'm going to go ahead, add him there. And now he has access to both houses. And so if I want some more information, I can just click the blue eye icon. So there's 4 different permission levels. You have staff at the lowest, which you're able to view, track, and add residents or request additional resident spots, but you're not able to add or edit staff, and you don't have access to finances. Similarly, just above that is billing. So similar to staff, same permissions. However, billing are able to access finances. House admin is able to add staff and residents to the house. They're full access within the house as they are the house admin. And enterprise admin, similar view, they are the managers and admin level access for that enterprise. So they'll have full access to all of the houses underneath the enterprise. And then if we go forward into the individual house dashboard, it's a similar view to the main dashboard. However, this is specific for the Lakewood house. So I can see I have 1 resident, 2 staff members, and no rent has been due or paid so far this month. I can go into the house calendar. I see there's resident events here. I can go through, I can click this one. I can see that the resident checked into this this meeting at a few minutes early, so 3:26, and it started at 3:30, so that's great. They were on time. Always appreciate that. And then you can see more house details, the total number of resident spots, the occupancy rate, charges versus payments, just a quick overview of the graph of how your organization finances are. Again, so all the recent incidents within this specific house, as well as the resident chores. So you're able to assign chores to different residents and they can get notified about it, and they'll be able to mark that as completed, as well as they can add any resident comments and notes to it. So if I go back through the history, it looks like he's completed this one. He completed it before. He added some comments that he cleaned the kitchen together with Tom. So that's great. So the resident is able to mark those as completed on the resident app as well as the resident portal. And they'll be able to add any notes and comments, feedback, anything like that. House tasks, on the other hand, are tasks specifically for your staff members. So if I want to tell Samwise Gamgee to clean or complete video tutorials, I can do so here. I can add a new task, assign it to myself or other staff members, and they'll get notified about those tasks that are assigned to them. And below that, we have the house's daily shift reports. So at the end of the shift, if you want to request to your staff to add their reports, you can do so here. You can put in any resident-related notes if they're succeeding, adjusting, if it needs follow-up, or if it's just a general house item, you can just say house concerns, fence appears to be broken, something like that. Whatever you need. You can also add additional items as well. So John Doe succeeding, he is doing well. And I can go ahead and submit my house report. Oh, end of shift report. End of shift report. There we go. Enter the title. There. So now one item needs follow-up, and I can see historically as well, go back and view specific dates of different events, different reports. And I'll go ahead and just mark this as completed and save. And then we have the active resident list and your active staff list. So just a quick little table view of your residents and staff of the house. And also at the top toolbar, just to quickly mention, we do have quick actions. So say wherever you are within your Oathtrack dashboard, you are able to quickly select a resident and say, oh, John Doe, hey, he made a payment. So I'm just going to quickly add that he made a $500 payment. And so I don't have to actually navigate all the way to his chart. I can just quickly do it wherever I am within the dashboard and say that he made that payment. Great. So now I can go through and add a charge. I can also send messages to the residents on a scheduled basis, individual or on a group level, at any node. So just a quick action for you to be able to add any events to your residents wherever you are within the dashboard. We also have referrals. So if you want to send Oathtrack your own referral link to other organizations within your community, you can do so as well. And you'll both receive discounts for doing so. You have your notifications tab, so that'll show you all of your residents who are either past due or if they failed a recent drug test, as well as any tasks that are assigned to you. And if they're overdue, you'll see that it was due 1 year ago or 2 days ago, or if it's due 2 days from now, you'll say in 2 days. And then you have your account. So if you want to go ahead and click account, you can change your password, change your name, phone number, details like that, as well as update your profile image. And then if you want, you can also customize the layout and color and look and feel of your Oathtrack dashboard. And then onto the house residents page. So this is the main resident list page for your house. It'll show you all of your active residents, all of the details about it. You can even color code the residence chart. You have your dismissed residents, when they were entered, as well as when they dismissed, and the reason for dismissal, and their account history. You also have your resident leads and waitlists. So any upcoming residents that are expected to arrive within your organization, you can edit them here. So you can see Jane Doe. Let's say they're now expected June 1st. So I'm gonna go ahead and click save. Now you can see it's expected June 1st. And if they came in now, I can also go ahead and click start intake process. I can send the intake form via email to the resident and have them complete it themselves, or I can go ahead and start the intake process myself, and you can see their information is already pre-populated for Jane Doe, as well as any other information that was entered on that lead and waitlist section. And then we also have rooms and beds. So this is a visual overview of your house and organization. So I can see I have 3 beds, room A, B, and room 3, which is females only. And I can go ahead and add a bed to this room. I can assign a resident to a specific bed. I can reserve this bed or edit the bed details. I can delete the bed. I can make it male or female specific. I can change which room this bed is assigned to. I can see that John Doe is assigned to bed 2, but say I'm moving him to this one, just going to go ahead and move him. So now John Doe is assigned to bed 1. I can see room B is reserved for Jane Doe, expected 1/125. Let me edit this reservation now that I made it so that she's coming in June. And I'll go ahead and click save. So this bed is reserved. So it's just a visual overview of your rooms and beds within your house. And then on the right side, you'll see custom fields and settings. Custom fields, as I mentioned, Oathtrack is 100% customizable. So you are able to add your own custom chart fields as well as intake fields. So if there's any specific fields on the intake form that your organization is required to have data entry on during the intake process, you can go ahead and add them here. So any of these fields and forms will be able to appear on your intake process. So when either yourself or the resident are filling the intake form out, you'll be able to collect those data points and questions. So for example, if you require to get the date of last arrest, you can add that field there, as well as any other fields that you want to be answered during the intake process. And similarly, custom chart fields, so these will appear on the residence chart where you're able to edit them and data entry them on the residence chart at any time while they're a resident. And then settings, so if there's specific referral sources you have, you can add them here as well as edit the name of them. You can see how many residents came from which referral locations, as well as default rent title and fee. So a lot of times there's some requirements where you're not able to call rent, so you can edit that here. So I can say that it should be a program fee, and by default we charge $200 weekly, so I'll just update it there. So now anytime I go ahead and add a new resident, if I send intake form to a new resident, I can see that it says program fee instead of rent. So I'll go ahead and click yes. And now it's pre-populated with that $200 weekly amount. So that way I don't have to edit that every time I'm performing intake. It's just automatic. And then I can put in the resident's email address and entry date, and they'll get a secure link where they're able to put in their information. Now, if we move to the residence chart, I can see their recent drug tests as well as their account status. And let me go into this resident chart. So this is for John Doe. I can see a quick timeline of all of the events that have occurred for this resident. I can apply filters as well. I can see their demographic information, their name, contact information, the sobriety date, the referral, the residence, which bed they're a part of, last location, as well as which phase they're on curfew, as well as their account status. I can quickly add a payment or add a charge, add any financial notes, or I can view and edit past payments and charges by clicking these links here, as well as edit their program fee, aka rent amounts there. Drug tests, I can add a drug test. I can view past ones. I see this one March 1st was positive. And there's no details here, but I can also go ahead and add insurance information for this drug test as well. And if I want to go through and add a new drug test, I'll just go through and enter in the information, click submit, or likewise, you can add insurance information while you're submitting the drug test information. And then a little bit more about John, their drug history, what privileges they have, as well as insurance and employment information. And if you want to move John to another house, I can go ahead and click transfer resident. I can transfer this resident into Shire House, which has 2 open beds. So I can go ahead and transfer resident, and this resident would be moved from Lakewood into the Shire House. Now along the top, you'll see quite a few number of tabs, which are great features we have on the residence chart. So you can record and track resident goals. I can see that this was completed in March, so that's great. They gained employment. Resident notes, they gain employment, that's great. Resident incidents, so I can see the incident that we saw on the main dashboard. So got into a fight with Jimmy. I can see strike 1. I can go ahead and add or remove strikes. I can see the status and consequences. Contacts, so these are all the contacts for the resident. So I can see that there's sponsor, emergency, parent, friend. I can see the friend notes. So Frodo Baggins called Gandalf. However, there was no answer. That was on February 26th. I can see there's parent contact, emergency contact, sponsor, so I can see Stephen Grant, his friend, and so I can see when we reached out to their contacts and what was talked about. So you can easily just say, let me see, Gandalf, I reached out to him, called again, uh, talked about John Doe. Go ahead and add that. Now you can see, yep, it was added today for John's friend, Gandalf. Now, if we go to medications, I can add any new medications. I can see what medications they're currently on, the quantity available, the dosage in units, as well as start and stop dates, the doctor and pharmacy information, as well as the last time it was administered. And so I can see the administration log history as well. So if I want to go through and mark it as administered, I can quickly do so here. It's the base dosage and units that are on this record. I can say which quantity was given, and that new quantity number goes down. So currently there's 22. So if I give 1, that's going to mean there's a new quantity of 21 left. And say it was administered at the same time. So that's great. So now it's been updated to today. Diagnoses, similarly, you can also add diagnoses that are that this resident might have, and you can go through and edit them or delete them. You can search by diagnosis code type, as well as if it's chronic or not, and assign that diagnosis to the resident. And then a big feature we have here is the chart documents. So you can upload any documents to the resident's chart, as well as upload documents for eSign for the resident. So from the secure file storage, since we already uploaded our house files, so here you'll be able to see Lakewood. We have a sample house rules that was uploaded for the house storage section. I can preview it, I can download it or delete it. I can upload additional files up to 10 at a time. And so back onto the residence chart, since that was already uploaded for this house, Lakewood, I can go through document eSign, select from existing files, and I'll see my list of house files here. So I can go ahead and click select this file, and send the file to get resident signature. And once I do that, then this resident's going to get an email with a secure link to review that document, and they'll be able to sign it with their finger on their phone or the mouse on a keyboard, and they'll be able to submit that document with their signature. And once they do that, you'll be able to see their signature attached to the document itself when you view it, as well as a little preview here. And then next we have the custom fields. So as I mentioned, you're able to fully customize Oathtrack and create custom fields, and you'll see I have the rent contract due, the number of children for this resident, if they have a parole officer, and I can go back in time. I can see what changes were made at what time by who. And I can see that, okay, Thursday, February 22nd, those from 2, and then the last change was March 1st, it came up to 3. So these are the changes that occurred for these custom fields. And this is the custom intake fields for the resident as well. And then on to the client portal. So this is the resident portal portion of Oathtrack, where the resident's able to log in and track their sobriety within the resident app and portal. And they'll have daily reminders that they can customize and configure themselves about why they're going through this sobriety journey and working towards recovery. And you can also see their current location. So I can see this resident's current location yesterday. I can see, if I hover over it, you can see at what time and date and time that they were at which location. And this is ultimately up to the resident to enable or disable. So when the resident downloads the resident app, there's a big button once they first log in to say if they want location to be tracked or not. And if they disable it, then you won't be able to see it. However, if they do enable it, you'll be able to track their location here. And if they haven't been tracked in a while, I can see that it was been since yesterday. I can go ahead and request a location update, and the resident's going to get a notification on their phone to say, hey, your staff would like to check in on you to see where you are. Please log into the app, open the app, and enable location services. And then also mood history. So with the resident portal, they're able to track how their days are. So at the end of the day, they get notified, hey, remember to put in your journal entry for the day. And they can also categorize it quickly by tapping a button if it was hard, impossible, average, or if it was easy. And so here you're able to see, okay, so far John Doe, he's been doing well, have easy, okay days, average, no hard or impossible days, which is great. However, if John Doe puts in 2 or 3 bad journal entries in a row, then the staff and managers of the house are going to get notified saying, hey, John Doe has had a couple bad journal entries in a row. You might want to reach out to them to potentially prevent a relapse. So it's a way for you to stay on track and stay and be proactive on your residents and their mental states. And then similar view, we have the chores, which is the tasks that you can assign to your residents on a recurring basis. So these chores are for cleaning the kitchen, taking out the trash, and we can see that you can view the history, we can edit it. Similar view from the house dashboard. And then we can see the overnight passes. So there's an overnight pass that was approved for June 22nd to the 23rd, staying with family for a graduation party event. I can go through and I can edit the information, edit the contact, what date range it's for. And so I can add the overnight pass myself, or the resident can request the overnight pass from the resident portal. So within the app and online, they're able to submit a pass request, and the staff and managers of the house are going to get notified that, hey, John Doe requested an overnight pass for X and Y date. Click here to approve or reject it, and then the resident's going to get notified of any status changes for that overnight pass. And then similar, next tab is the resident access. So we have full configuration. You're able to configure which residents have access to the resident portal, as well as which residents have access to the chat platform as well. So Oathtrack Chat is a fully integrated chat platform, very similar to Slack or Microsoft Teams, if you're familiar, where you're able to communicate one-on-one or in groups, as well as different channels, different group chats, share files and links and GIFs with your staff members and residents. And so it's just a one-stop shop for everything within your organization. So instead of having to keep track of a constantly changing contact list within your phone, this is a chat platform that's directly integrated within Oathtrack. So anyone, any staff member or resident who's part of your organization, you can enable access for them so that they have permissions to go to the chat platform. And so the chat platform is this. So you're able to have different channels. You can have a channel for each individual house automatically will be created. You can also communicate directly one-on-one or with separate people, multiple people. Any questions?
Not yet.
Great. So that's basically the overview of all the main features within Oathtrack.
No,
any questions? Any other feedback? Any items you want to talk about?
not particularly. I definitely see the benefits of it. I'm just trying to figure out what that would look like when we put it into practice, or if we were to put it into practice. I'm trying to see what that looks like.
We also have the the data export, as well as the integration ability to transfer data from one system to another. So there's definitely we've seen it before, situations like this where it's quite frequent where one organization is going to have separate branches, and they do utilize both systems. However, they use Oathtrack more for they'll have all of their residents, as well as all of the staff communications and document storage and document sharing collaboration tools within it.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that could be beneficial. So it's just trying to figure out how that would all look and what that would look like. So that's a conversation I have to have with the upper management. I'm the middleman. I'm the link between administration and clinical. So that's how you ended up with me. Is I'm not. So.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I know we had a little bit of difficulty, making this work, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was looking forward to it. It's just every time we'd get a time, or you'd send a time, I'd look at my schedule. I'm like, oh no, that's not happening. Yeah. So
yeah.
Even this time, I was like, oh man, sorry for being difficult, but this is what's available.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No worries.
So,
but yeah, so yeah, I would definitely appreciate you take up the chain. If there's any questions, any comments, you can reach out to me directly. My phone number, cell phone, and everything's on my signature there. Yeah, and like I said, we do offer discounts as well for nonprofits if budgeting constraints are there.
Right. Definitely appreciate that. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Anthony. It was a pleasure to meet you again. And
You as well.
take care. And please feel free to let me know if you or your team have any questions.
Will do.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Yep. Take care.